Right, good afternoon, guys. Like I said, it's going to go live at 12:30. The one thing I'm going to discuss today is how to help yourself get in shape for summer holidays. All too often, people book the holidays around this time of the year, and typically what happens is they book it for June, July, August, etc. And what normally happens is you find that 3 weeks before you then start panicking, thinking, crap, I need to help, I need to get in shape, I need to lose a few pounds, I need to fit in a certain dress, or make myself look good around the beach, around the pool, etc. About 3 weeks before your holiday, you're not really giving yourself enough time to make any noticeable difference. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk you through a few steps to help yourself get in shape. Okay, so first thing that you need to start doing is you can start by drinking a lot more water. All right. As daft as it sounds, and as how irrelevant as it sounds, actually drinking more water will, in the long term, help you lose the pounds. So why a lot of the time, why people keep weight on themselves is because they're not drinking enough water. So the body actually holds a lot of water retention. So when you step on the scales don't know what's water retention, what's hormonal, what's fat, what's muscle, it just weighs you, okay? So unless you've got a set of scales that are doing body fat percentage or anything like that, which a lot of people don't, they just kind of go off scale weight, which is fine, it's a way of measurement, as long as it's consistent, then that's fine. So drinking a lot of water helps keep the water retention off, okay? So that's the first thing. Second thing is participating in some form of exercise, okay? Walking, picking a sport. If you've got friends that are playing badminton, tennis, the weather's getting better eventually, so you can start doing things like badminton, squash, tennis, even just going for walks with people. Okay, what you've got to remember is that participating in some form of exercise is all energy expenditure, okay? Losing weight is as simple, there's no complicated formula for it. I've said this countless times. It is as simple as being in a calorie deficit, i.e. what that means is the food that you're intaking is energy, okay, so that's all well and good, but you've then got to be expending that energy to help you not put weight on, basically. So if you're intaking a lot of food, a lot of energy, and you're not expending it, you're going to put weight on, okay? Nothing like hormones or anything else that's an outside factor helps put weight on as much as being in a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit. So put yourself into a calorie deficit by expending more energy, walking, picking a sport, etc, etc. Going off on the back of that, if you track your steps, aim to reach a minimum step count of 10,000 a day. Okay, so a few ways that you can do that is if you're walking to work, or if you're driving to work, what you could do is park your car a lot further away. Okay, that means then when you walk into work in the morning, when you walk out of work at lunchtime to go to your car, whatever, by the time you come back, then by the time you leave work in the evening, you're actually picking your steps up, okay, which again is all energy expenditure. You don't need to do anything too complicated, too drastic or anything. Put yourself into a calorie deficit, expend more energy walking. Okay, doke. In terms of the gym, a lot of people focus a lot of the time when they're trying to do these short diet cuts, all they'll do is they'll smash the cardio. Okay, which again, it's energy expenditure, but what we need to look at is we need to look at how to get you in shape for your holiday. So we need to look at building muscle, and we need to look at weights and resistance training for that, okay? Another good tip is that the more muscle that you have, the more easy it is to burn fat in a roundabout way, okay? For ladies, that doesn't mean that if you go to the gym for 6 weeks, you're not going to put masses and masses of muscle on at all, because your hormone profiles are completely different than guys. So what it does mean though is that you're going to be toning your muscles, okay, so you're going to look better, but it's more effective than just doing half an hour of cardio every single day, if you will. So yeah, focus more on weights and resistance. Depending on your diet, one of the other things that you could do is gradually, and I say gradually, reduce your carbohydrate intake. Now, your body needs carbohydrates to function. It actually needs carbohydrates to lose weight as well, believe it or not. Carbs aren't bad, okay? It's everything within moderation. So if you can give yourself 8 to 10 weeks before your holiday, then if you're really wanting to get in shape, then just focus on cutting your carbohydrate intake down in time for your holiday. You don't have to go 0 carbs on week 8. You don't have to go keto or anything like that. You just need to focus on how many carbs you're having at the moment, and if you're losing weight, then perfect, you don't need to change anything. If you're not losing weight, then okay, we need to look at increasing your energy expenditure or dropping your carbohydrate intake. With that being said, 9 out of 10 people don't actually eat enough protein, so one of the other things that you could do is look at increasing your protein intake. Protein intake helps massively with fat loss, okay, due to something called protein synthesis. Without going into too much detail, but like I said, your muscles help determine how much fat you burn. So the more muscle you've got, the more fat you burn. What helps muscle is protein. Therefore, if you've got enough protein in your diet, your muscles are recovering, you're burning more fat in a roundabout way. So increase your protein intake, drop your carbohydrate intake, and just start recording your weight weekly. Pick a day, pick a time. If you want to do it every single day and take the mean off 7 days, that's absolutely fine. What we tell a lot of clients and members do is to keep it simple. Pick a day every single week. It's the same time of the day, so it's usually morning because that's the best time to take it. And then you've got something to go off, okay? And then if you're losing weight for the first 5 weeks, then perfect, you don't need to change a thing. If you've stagnated for 2 weeks, even if you stagnate for a week, it's not a problem. If you stagnate and plateau, if you will, for 2 weeks, then you can look at changing something up. So you can either take your step count up to 15,000 steps a day. You can either do the gym 4 times a week rather than 3. You can drop your carbohydrate intake just a little bit more. You can drink a little bit more water. All these things that I'm giving you are tools that you can use to help get yourself in shape. What not to do to help lose weight for your holiday is do it 3 weeks before. Drop your carbohydrate intake to an absolute minimum because you'll burn out and more than likely just binge. And don't just hammer the cardio at the gym, because what that's doing is your body will actually, it's quite clever. Your body actually goes from burning fat, which it would do for probably the first 2 weeks. And if you drop your carbohydrate intake and you've increased your calorie expenditure, your energy expenditure, by doing an absolute shitload of cardio, then what your body does is it's not getting enough nutrients. So the only thing that it's got to get nutrients from is your muscle. So if you've not got a lot of muscle already, but you've got a bit of body fat, then what your body actually does is it doesn't burn the body fat and keep the muscle, it actually burns into the muscle, okay? So that's where you see people that probably you will see them on holiday that have done these short-term fixes. They've gone 0 carbs, done an absolute ton of cardio to get in shape for the holiday, and they look like a bag of crap. Because they've still got a little bit of body fat, but they've no muscle structure, they've no tone, they've no definition, and they've just burnt themselves out. So, drop your carbohydrate intake sensibly as and when you need to. Increase your calorie energy expenditure by walking, picking a form of exercise. If you're doing the gym 3 times a week at the moment, that's fine. Make sure they're more weights and resistance sessions. Think of more full body sessions as well, okay? And then eventually you can increase that to 4 times, maybe 5 times a week, depending on your lifestyle and if it allows it. But don't go 0 carb. Don't end up doing a load of cardio and HIIT training and all this sort of stuff. You know, doing half an hour of cardio compared to going outside and walking for half an hour, you know, in the evening or something, the two aren't much different. You know, at the end of the day, all cardio's doing is it's just energy expenditure. All the steps are doing are just energy expenditure. The difference is with cardio, you just do it a little bit quicker. So what you've got to think what you've got to think to do is walk a bit more. The gym sessions that you're doing, make them more weights and resistance, and then you're not doing too much cardio. Increase your protein intake, so you're going to help your muscles keep as much muscle mass as you can, and drop your carbohydrate intake as and when you need to. So I hope you've got a few points there that you can take away. Any questions, feel free to drop us a message. We'll put the video out after this so you can watch it over again. But yeah, I hope you've got some value. Don't leave it too long. You know, 8 weeks is a good time period. 10, 12 is a much more relaxed period, so any kind of social events that you've got within that period you can incorporate. But yeah, still stick to your diet, and it'll leave you looking good for your holiday. Cheers, guys. Take care.